The Destiny 2 community is chock full of reasonable adults, people with fully developed prefrontal cortexes, and because of that, we are capable of having higher level discussions, right, than any other community out there. And now that I'm done lying to you, I want to have a brief discussion about the status of the roadmap drama. The roadmap drama that we've been seeing for the past, I don't know, around 6 or 7 weeks. This is a relatively recent development in the Destiny 2 community because we are, like I said, fully functioning adults. We have nothing better to do than just sit around and complain. I'm looking at literally everybody who has made a video about this instead of just patiently waiting. I point the finger at myself too, because me, like many other people, I am an irrational creature who wants answers and sensationalizes things just to pretty much get views on YouTube, right? It is an epidemic within the larger content creation scene to sensationalize things just to clickbait and get views, and the Destiny 2 community has been screaming to the roofs about the roadmap, me included. So the purpose of today's video is to basically say that whatever we're getting in the roadmap, it really doesn't matter. Now, there are a number of reasons why getting a roadmap doesn't matter, and it's not going to solve any of the problems we're having. The first and largest reason, I think, is that Bungie is no longer planning Destiny in the terms of a grand scale that they were used to planning Destiny as, right? What I mean by that is that they are currently on a 1 to maybe 2 year in terms of a content delivery scale. Now, I'm not talking that they're currently developing 2 years of content at a time. In fact, I am one to believe that they are only planning content out a year at a time, right? They're only actively developing content 1 to 2 seasons at a time, but that is just speculation. Whereas previously, in the past, like, for example, Destiny 1 Year 1, they had planned out enough content for the future, right? Destiny 1 Vanilla comes out, or in the pre-planning stages for Destiny 1, right, when they were actually developing the game post Halo Reach 2011, they knew initially that they had a deal with Activision to make 4 games over the course of 10 years, right? They were planning and writing and at least creating ideas for minimum 10 years worth of content for Destiny. Now, not all of that content ended up panning out. Not all that content ended up being made. A lot of it ended up being recycled or dismantled or just reused in some other form. We saw a lot of that post Taken King, where a lot of the quote-unquote originally planned content ended up going towards content that was going to launch with Destiny 2. And then further, even more of that content was put into stuff like the seasons, right? Originally, there was a Cabal and a Vex themed expansion that were going to come out during the Destiny 2 Taken King. But, then at that point, that content that was made, pre-planned, those ideas ended up being reused, intelligently, some would say, into some of the later seasons that we ended up getting in Destiny 2, right? During Year of the Witch Queen and Beyond Light. Now, why not having the certainty of scale, right? Why not having an initial plan that is going to at least not guarantee, but suggest that you're going to make 10 years worth of content matters, is because the final shape was the narrative conclusion of the Destiny franchise, right? The entire Light and Darkness saga should have ended right there. And realistically speaking, even if the original plan for Destiny did plan out and we got our 4 games over the course of 10 years, it's still, I'm of the belief that it would have ended with that showdown with the Witness, Destiny 4 expansion to the final shape, whatever you want to call it. And because we no longer have a certainty of scale, us as consumers feel unsure with Bungie's vision for the future, right? We are pretty much going to, from here on out, get these little, I don't want to say cheaply made, but cheaply planned one-shot adventures that don't really feed into each other in the way that we did previously see with all of the different expansions and seasons over the years. And basically, it kind of feels as if the game is just on life support while the next thing comes. Now, whether the quote-unquote next thing is Destiny 3, or if it is just buying time until Marathon can finally come out, that is yet to be seen. But I really don't have confidence. I genuinely do not have confidence with Bungie as a studio to continue creating content for Destiny, with the Destiny 2 being the main platform. Now, don't let me fool you into thinking that this is a discussion about the technical limitations of Destiny 2. Me personally, I couldn't give a damn. I genuinely do not care if the future of all Destiny content exists within the platform of Destiny 2 or we get a Destiny 3. It is a gut feeling of mine based on the way that Destiny breaks whenever new things are added, that most of the old guard, right, the people that had originally created the bones of Destiny 2 are no longer with the studio. Either they left, retired, were fired, got bought out, whatever happened. I do not think that there's enough people that exist within Bungie who were around for the very beginning, who actually understand how these things work, where they just don't know what to do going forward, right? See ancient Rome post-collapse, right? They basically existed in the ruins of a civilization that was greater than them, and for 800 years, people had no idea how to replicate anything that the ancient Romans did, right? I know, kind of hyperbolic, but I do think that that is what the staff levels of Bungie is, right, in terms of technical experience and old knowledge. It just isn't there anymore. But then again, this is just a feeling. I am an armchair game developer. My extent of knowledge of code bases ends at print line hello world, okay? I do not know these things. It is just a feeling and an observation over many years of religiously following this company. But with that all being said, the bones of Destiny are old and they are in obvious need of some work. Now, the next point I'd like to make is that simply by getting a roadmap, our problems aren't solved. You guys have to remember that there is an actual quality issue at stake here. Let's look to, current roadmap, for example, right? Destiny 2 Year of Prophecy. We got a couple of big announcements. Destiny 2 Edge of Fate as being the main expansions at stake here. Edge of Fate has turned out to be middling at best, a sort of hauling out of the core Destiny experience in favor of the portal activity. It was a hard reset on the actual weapon and armor economy. It was a hard reset for a lot of things, basically like, I don't know, version 4.0 soft relaunch of Destiny 2. Some would say it worked, others, me included, would say that it doesn't scratch the same itch as the game previously did. It does a lot of right things, but I think it does more wrong in context to what came before. We have the Destiny 2 Renegades that's coming out, right? Coming out December 2nd, 2025, 30 days away as the time I'm recording this video, and we still don't even have a date set for the dungeon. DMG said in September 8th, I believe, that we were going to have a date for the dungeon, and we still do not know what date the dungeon actually coming out for. A lot of people need to plan these things in advance for things like the day one challenges, and we just really don't have that yet. In addition, on this roadmap, we have the two major updates, Ash of Iron and Shadow and Order. Now, for Ash and Iron, I can safely say that it is the worst, handedly the worst of all of the free updates we've received, right? Because you got to remember, Ash and Iron is a free update available to all players, so by far it is the worst, but there's only been like 4 of those. And if you consider Ash and Iron to be an expansion at the same level as, I don't know, like Edge of Fate or Curse of Osiris or whatever, it probably is up there in the top 3 worst expansions that we ever have received, but it depends on how you classify these things, right? So halfway through the Year Prophecy roadmap, we have received one incredibly divisive expansion and the single-handed worst free update that Destiny has ever received. There is one good thing coming out of this year so far, and that was the Desert Perpetual, and not everybody plays the raid. And now we're moving into the second half of the Year Prophecy. We don't even have a date for the launch of the dungeon. We have really no new information for Renegades, no additional gameplay streams, no developer sit-downs, no Q&As, no Vidocs. I know they gave us a quote-unquote Vidoc, but it was not a Vidoc. It was not. We need Vidocs like we got for Beyond Light or Witch Queen. We need to go back. Like, bring in the old marketing people. Bring back Gary Clay, please, dear God. And so, as I sit here on November 2nd, Year of Our Lord 2025, Destiny is plagued by a variety of issues, including but not limited to low player sentiment, the lowest player count we have ever seen, a variety of technical issues ranging from the annoying to the actual game breaking. We have a social media team at Bungie who is not responding to the pressure at all. It's not even that they're not responding well, they just aren't responding, period. It is complete and total radio silence on their part. We have a miasma of reactionary sentiment among every single Destiny content creator, myself included. I'm not immune to it. This video is part of the problem. The fact that we can't sit down, shut up, and just let them cook, I guess. It really is all part of the issue. And so here's my most level-headed take on what I believe is currently happening at Bungie and what I think is going to happen within the next 4 weeks. For starters, relatively soon, I would assume by the end of the week I'm currently uploading this video, when we're going to get an announcement from the social media team, whether that be the Twit or DMG or just any random ass Bungie employee tweeting out that there's going to be a developer stream. This developer stream is most likely going to be on November 18th, 2 weeks before the launch of Renegades, because that is typical before the launch of a new expansion. They typically do a developer stream where they show off the content in the DLC either a week or 2 weeks before the expansion is released. I think that during this developer stream, or at least before the developer stream, it is going to be announced that yes, we are going to be getting our long-awaited roadmap so we can stop bitching about it. I think the reason why they're taking all this time is that they, at Bungie, really don't even know what they're going to be putting inside of it. Since, like I mentioned, Destiny is pretty much being developed one expansion at a time, they kind of have to figure out a plan on, what they're actually going to tell us they're going to deliver, just so they don't, quote unquote, over deliver and beware of creating unearnable or unmeetable expectations. And just in case I haven't made myself abundantly clear, yes, I think that Destiny is going to exist in 2 years from now. We are going to be getting at least 2 more years worth of content. We already have some indication that there's going to be something coming after the Year of Prophecy, in the sense that we're going to be getting, 2 more expansions after that, right? We just don't know anything about them, right? We can only speculate. I think personally that there's going to be another year of content on the Destiny 2 platform after that, and then really just depending on how well Marathon does in the market, does Bungie continue to go along with Destiny 2, or do they just relaunch the series to Destiny 3? I think from a business perspective, the best way that Bungie can make money is to just make Destiny 3, but then again, I do not have any revenue statistics from Bungie. It is relatively hard to get any of that information out of their parent company, Sony, so you can only speculate these things via public filings. In any case, I am done yapping. Hold your head up high, troopers. We're going to be getting more Destiny content. It really isn't that big of a deal. If you are dissatisfied with the state of Destiny 2, like many people are, simply put, just play another game. I'm playing other games. Other people are playing other games. Go play Arc Raiders. It's fantastic, right? Arc Raiders is a phenomenal game. There's plenty of other story games out there. Outer Worlds 2 just dropped. It's a great game. Go play another game. I'm playing other games. You should be playing another game too. Like, it really isn't that difficult. And so, I would like to thank each and every single one of you who are watching this video. If you made it to the end, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. If you agree with me that not having a roadmap really isn't that big of a deal, and we are just complaining because we love to complain as a Destiny community, or if genuinely speaking, not having a roadmap is legitimately the end of the world, and that Renegades is the last Destiny expansion. And just remember, you matter to somebody. Do something nice for somebody today. Stick around. Make today count, all right? Take care now.